Hello, good game. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. I hope you're having a magical day. Thank you so much for taking the time to support the channel. We have a new free-to-play deck. This is an artisan format build. That means only commons and uncommons should be easily attainable for the average player without busting out those mythic and rare wildcards. This is a Golgari build, black and green, focusing on commies and enchantments. A very merry mid-range deck. In today's video, we'll break down the deck list, talk about the strategies, the synergies, demonstrate all of this within the gameplay footage to give you a deeper understanding of exactly how the deck wants to be piloted, and then we'll wrap up with our final thoughts, deck review, and of course, card of the day. So make sure to like the video, show your support, subscribe to the channel, and check out that link tree. There's lots of cool goodies in there as well. Let's take a look at the deck. Oeo! Artisan, free-to-play, black and green commies, and we've got them both in here. The Commie of Terrible Secrets and the Geothermal Commie, getting down and getting dirty. This deck has some synergies that really should not belong in a free-to-play deck. It's fantastic. But before we get there, the deck is made for standard best of one within Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. We have a 2.6 average mana value with 28 creatures and 12 non-creatures. There is only 20 land in the deck, which is pretty doggone goofy, but remember that we do have the Tangled Florahedron here as the backside of Tangled Veil. Veil coming in tapped as a green source as a land, and that's going to bring us up to that 24, but we can also ramp early on with the Tangled Florahedron if our opening hand looks good with the land. We can also ramp in this deck with treasures quite easily. Shambling Gas for 1. When it dies, create a treasure or give a creature an opponent controls -1/-1. Deadly Dispute for 2 at instant speed. As an additional cost, sacrifice a creature and then draw 2 cards and create a treasure. So that's a few ways to be ramping with treasures, which is quite nice. And then, of course, Binding of the Old Gods for 4. On its second trigger, we had to search our library for a force card, put it into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. So, that's kind of what we have going on within the deck for ramp. Now let's talk about our removal. Shambling Gas, we already mentioned with the -1/-1. Life of Toshiro Umizawa, pardon me, for the first 2 times when it enters, and then on your next draw step, the 2 triggers, you can choose one of 3, +2/+2 on one of your creatures, target creature -1/-1, and you can actually do this on their creatures or your creatures. It doesn't matter which creature, but I would assume, unless you wanted to kill your own creatures, or buff theirs up, I don't really know. Or gain 2 life, right? So, there's nice versatility here within the first 2 triggers. And then Exile, transform it. It's a 2/3 enchantment creature that you can tap to pay 1 life, adding a black source to your mana pool to cast instants or sorceries. It's just really good value. Buffing your creatures up, killing their creatures, helping you gain life, and then itself is a creature. That's really, really nice for 2 mana. So that is a way to remove things. And then Binding of the Old Gods, when it enters play, destroy target non-land permanent and opponent controls, right? Easy as that. That can literally nuke anything, which is super exciting. Away from that, let's get into some of the draw within the deck, or value. Circuit Mender, when it enters the battlefield, gain 2 life, and when it leaves the battlefield, draw a card. It's a 2/3 artifact creature for 3, which is really quite decent. And then draw through Deadly Dispute as well. We mentioned this. Dockside Chef, as an enchantment creature for 1, a 1/2, can draw a creature by sacrificing an artifact or creature for 2 mana, which is really nice. There's no tap needed there, so you can sink your mana into this. And drain out, draw a new hand, which is really, really cool if you need. Like if you're facing a field wipe or something, right? Those creatures are going to die anyways. And then we have draw through Kami, Terrible Secrets, a 3/4, and when it enters the battlefield, if you control an artifact and an enchantment, you draw a card and gain 1 life, right? So we have artifacts through the Mender, through the Treasure of the Ghast, and the Dispute, right? So a few artifacts here, which is quite nice. And then the enchantments, Dockside Chef, Toshiro, Gloom Shrieker, Binding, plenty of enchantments for us there. So a really nice way to put a body in play while drawing a card and gaining life. And then one of my favorite things here, the Geothermal Commie for 4. This is a 4/3. When it enters the battlefield, you may return an enchantment you control to its owner's hand. If you do, gain 3 life. Whoa. So there's a few different things we can do here. The first is, pretty obviously, the Binding of Old Gods. You get another removal, you get another land ramp. That is fantastic. So good. You can also bounce a transformed Memory of Toshiro, or even just the Life of Toshiro, to re-get those +2/+2s, the -1/-1s, or the gain life. That's less powerful, obviously, than the direct removal, but it's going to be up to you. And then actually one of the best things you can do is the Gloom Shrieker for 3. 2/1 with Menace. When it enters the battlefield, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. If it would die, exile it instead. So, you know, we can use the Kami to bounce the Shrieker, to replay the Shrieker, to grab something from our grave. So if the Binding is in play, you know, Kami can bounce it, sure. But if you have a Binding in the grave and a Gloom Shrieker, bounce the Shrieker, then grab the Binding and replay the Binding. And it's just so much value. It is absolutely ridiculous, the number of times that you can replay Binding of the Old Gods within this deck. It's so silly. So that is the entire deck list, you guys. It's really simple. The lands are all basic. Of course, you know, the Flora Hadron in there as well. Really easy deck to play and a really, really effective deck. Like, we are beating down some of the best decks right now, which is really, really cool. So if this video gets 500 likes, which is like 10% of our viewership, maybe even 5% on a good video, I will take this free-to-play deck, an artisan build, into the constructed standard event, and we will farm some gold. So how about it? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments down below as well, and most importantly, enjoy today's gameplay, and then we'll be back to wrap up and talk about card of the day. All right, going first, I'm gonna keep it. Triple Oshiro might actually be okay. Haha, yes. Die, Snake, die! Easy. Now they know it'll trigger again next turn, but they're like, well, we'll play 2/2 and it dodges it. Oh, it's a 3/3, wow. Let's swing for 5. We take the archer. Companion out. Draws a card. We slay it. For 3. Another Spirited Companion, woof. We can kill it. We're gonna gain some life. Scry 2. We slay it, then transform. 4th land out. We attack. And then we geothermal memory back to our hand. So we can reuse the enchantment side of it. They take our geothermal. Unpleasant. 2nd land out. Let's hold it up for now. Two 2's fairly annoying. Another... That's their 3rd Spirited Companion. Holy Toledos. Take out the snake. We can't Kami and grab. Pretty brutal. Let's hit for 4. Gaston play, pass turn. We want to make sure the Gloom grabs a Toshiro or something. Alright, this does nothing. Right? Push up Toshiro. Land out. Kami out without the treasures. We gain 1 life, draw a card. Hit for 7. Down to 3. Let's just play this other creature. Maybe we go wide. It's a lot of land. They're flooding. Good game. Beautiful. Toshiro basically single-handedly winning us that game, which is really cool. Starting with the generous visitor, because if they kept this, look at all those enchantments they would have played on top of it, right? So it's always nice to grab that. Opponent goes first. I like the hand, actually, here. Playing slow. There's nice removal. We have Binding and the Kami, which is fantastic. A little good game. Maybe we should have held that for ramp. It's really hard to say. The answer to that would have been yes. Let's just grab life. Yeah, we definitely should have ramped. But what if they exiled our ramp? That would have sucked. That would have sucked, bruh. Yikes. So this is that problem there. They don't push up the visitor, which is so strange. But they bring it back from the grave next turn. I see. Kill the snake. Grab 2 life. We're gonna have to kill the Naturalist, the Restoration, and the Snick again. Did they throw a snake to play a snake? Weird. They should have thrown a land to play 2 snakes. No blocks. Take the Naturalist. No attacks. We'll double block the Visitor if we have to. Land out. I mean, it has to be exile, right? I don't see them taking Binding, but it would be the best play. It's hard to say. Who do they take? They take Toshiro. The Mender would have given us a draw. Grab Binding back to our hand. Pretty decent, pretty decent. Wedding Announcement is so good, though. Pretty decent, pretty decent. Oh? I'm confused. Very much so. We could even Binding Borrowed if this is what's going to happen. We get the draw. Oh, they draw through Wedding. That's maybe what it was about. Toshiro re-enters, and then we kill the spirit. For one, let's go. Oh, that's a fair and playable card. For sure, for sure, for sure. Alright, we're killing token, which is so good. Grabbing a forest. Then let's Binding Splendor. This is with a free-to-play deck, I'll remind you. Bloom for the Kami, Geothermal. Then Geothermal can bounce Binding. Let's hit for 2. Era of Enlightenment is what it is. Scry 2 is pretty good, right? There's Wedding Announcement. Flipping. We grab a forest. It's in tapped. We transform. Then we get Death Touch. And then we bounce Binding back. Because this is just so fun. I'm just going to attack with the little guys. The ones that aren't so important. Now let's end turn. We can Dockside Chef the gas to make the artifact. And then Terrible Secrets for the draw. Good card. We'll just kill that immediately. They still have 22 life. That's the troublesome part here, right? Okay, let's kill the Ghast. Create a treasure. That's our artifact. I will Deadly Dispute the treasure to create another treasure. Take the draw. Take our turn. Land out. Kami out. Gain 1 life, draw a card. It's hard. It's pretty hard. Let's Toshiro. +2/+2 on the Shrieker. Go to combat. Hit with the team. It's 10 damage. It's like not that bad. And then I guess we just Binding the Restoration so they can't bring the Naturalist back. Let's Transforms 3/3 with First Strike. Then a Visitor, which is good. Let's take our turn. Grab a Forest. Let's push up the Kami. Land out, Mender out. Gain 2 life. Sack the Mender. Draw 2 cards. Toshiro again. Plus up the other Kami. Or Toshiro. Then let's attack. This is 10, 13, 15 damage. So double block on the Kami. Kill the first strike first. And then we still get both of them down. And then we Terrible Secrets for a draw. Gain 1 life. Rock and roll. Down to 3, 2 cards in hand. That free-to-play deck just smashed this top meta deck, you guys. I hope you enjoy. This is nice. Like, we literally had them the entire match. Very cool stuff. View battlefield. This is a transform, so let's go +2 on the Menace. And, you know, this is just lethal anyways, right? Land out. All attack. Hello, good game. And of course, you know, we still have plenty more. We can bring back Binding from the grave with the Shrieker here, replay it. But, you know, it's to the point where we're so far ahead of value. And a lot of this value is coming from the replaying of all these enchantments through the Kamis, which is really, really cool. Excuse me. Little sneeze session there. Edit it out, of course. The twin shot snipper. Nice. Sucks. We can draw that 4th land, it might be okay, but... Alright. Getting back to where we need to. Let's kill that robber for shizzle. No attacks. And we can sack these constructs here. It's not the worst. It's just definitely not great either. No blocks here. Down to 10, then down to 8. Let's bounce Binding back. Gain 3 life. No attacks, we're chilling. And now we just need to stabilize and survive. Seems strange. All they have is the Javelineer. We just need to outpace those, right? Let's gain life. Draw a card. We're chilling. We can pay 1 life and sack a construct, which actually will be beneficial. And now we can sacrifice the other one with the chef. Down to 5. It's not great, but we're good. We're good. Let's just get rid of it now. And then we don't have to worry about it. Grab some life with the Mender. For 3. Keep Toshiro back if we need the mana. We're okay. This is fine. Right, we have plenty of life gain, plenty of draw. They're gonna kill it. Let's sacrifice it. Let's grab some life and a draw. We can grab some more life here. And we just bash in. Close the game out as quickly as possible now. Shouldn't be a problem. Three, 6, 8, 10 damage here. This will be lethal. We have more removal, we have more draw life gain, which is really fantastic. Fucking cold. Opponent goes first. You know, it's actually not that bad. Especially with that one drop off the top. Never punished. Oh no. This isn't good. This is not good. Oof. Nice. How can we kill the Emperor? Like, right now. I don't think we can. They won't attack. I think we're just screwed. Let's take a draw, gain 1 life. Oh no, because we spent... Oops. We spent the artifacts on it, so we didn't actually have one when it entered. My bad. I was like, oh, we'll take a draw here. Damn it. My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. Hey, we got a blocker out, though, at least. Maybe, kind of, sort of. We'll see. Nice. 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 They must have had that rune in hand, because it shouldn't be with the ability, because they already had the trample in play, right? Whatever. We're chilling. I mean, I'm not really sure how we'll win this. We'll try. We get a double draw there, basically. Companion out. Another companion. No attacks. I mean, we're just screwed because the showdown's going to power up so much. Let's slay a companion. Take the draw. Slay the naturalist, I guess. No attacks. Things look pretty grim. We can draw next turn. Terrible secrets. Oh no, let's just stop it. That's a BM play right there. That's great. Let's see what we draw first. I mean, we could get another Deadly Dispute, or, Binding. But we'll need 2 of them. Good game. You know, that's really cool, bro. We're trying to showcase a free-to-play. Opponent goes first. Land is bad. We toss. Keep 6. Toss the land. We can always draw more land, right? Well, you say that. Can always draw more 4-drops. I mean, that's alright. It stops us from killing it. We can chump block. Ooh. No dice. Ninjutsu? Ninjutsu. Pardon my pronunciation. They're paying to copy this. Or they don't have enough mana. Or they just chose not to. I think they just chose not to. Double treasure, double draw. Let's grab our semi-removal. Already played our land. Could gain life, or we could just ramp. Let's just grab life. Flora Hadron out would have been decent as well, I guess. Oof. We're really piling on here. We need some removal. No blocks. Yeah, there's really not much happening here for us this round. No blocks. Looking for Binding of the Old Gods. Without it, we're gonna run into some trouble for sure. That's 2 for 1, the Fur Master. Nice. Yeah, this is full combo. They do it correctly this time. Woof. An Artisan free-to-play deck that slaps that hard is seriously rare. Without the rares, right? I cannot believe the power level of some of these free-to-play decks that we've created this past week. This being one of my favorite, as I feel it is the most original, right? Just hyper playing the enchantments is so much fun. As far as upgrades for the deck, lands, your pathways, your dual lands, moving away from that, you know, maybe don't focus on it too much. Save those rares and mythics for a tier 1 competitive deck rather than upgrading some of these decks to a mediocre build. Obviously, it will not compete against some of the best meta decks. Well, actually, it kind of did. But consistently, it will be harder, and you may be better off to focus on an upgraded version of, or just the full version of one of those is what I mean to say. With that being said, you know, we could work on an upgraded version to this. It's nothing that I've thought of yet, in total honesty. That's why we don't have it. But yeah, I mean, if you have the lands, sure. If you don't have the lands, focus on getting the lands. It increases consistency. But if you have those, maybe just play the deck for the quest. Keep it as one of those free-to-play fun decks. You know, maybe you sneak some of your own upgrades in there as well that work good. You can let me know in the comments below. And let's take a look at card of the day. Alrighty here. So we have the Master of Winds for 4 mana. This is a 1/4 creature Sphinx Wizard with flying, and whenever it enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards and then discard 2 cards. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery or wizard spell, you may have Master of Winds base power and toughness become 1/4 or 4/1 until the end of turn. So you can do a little flippity-do there, which is really fun. Master of Winds, full art, really cool, protected from our Titan Shield products available within the link tree. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you have a magical day. Check out the pinned comment for another really cool free-to-play video. And yeah, 500 likes. I'll take it into competitive queue, farm some gold, and we'll see you soon.